Hi everybody, welcome to Addison Unleashed for the day. I hope everyone is having an amazing day. It is kind of in and out cloudy and sunny here in Texas, and so I wanted to jump on and take a moment while my day is kind of calm and come here and talk to you about some things that have kind of really been coming up and on my mind today. It's been interesting. So I started my day out with writing an article about judgment. And it really is judgment. And it was more towards like judgments that we make of women. And the judgments I'm seeing constantly on other coaches' profiles and my profile, and people really stepping up and stepping into their vibration. And so I'm seeing this pattern. And so I wrote this entire article about our judgments and how we think it's okay, or many think it's okay, not everybody. I think my followers tend to be pretty high vibe people that don't judge this at the same level, though we all have filters on. Okay, internet's back. I thought my internet was going out. But I wrote this whole article about how I'm reading these posts and comments of all these amazing fucking women. I mean, like, amazing women that are putting their heart out there, who are sharing some really deep content, really like soul aligned content, who are high vibing, they're rolling, they're rocking, they're totally in flow, and they're getting these comments. And I got one of these comments about 2 weeks ago about how I was on drugs. I actually thought it was funny. Because my vibration was so high, I was like in the flow. I was like sharing my message. I was feeling good, and I got all these negative comments about my vibration and how I felt I looked like I was on drugs because I was just like really in the flow, and people hating on different aspects of me. Somebody told me I needed to wear makeup. I get people all the time who tell me I need to wear more revealing clothes or less revealing clothes. Everybody's got their opinions. But then I'm also like looking at some other fellow practitioners and other coaches and people I follow, and they get the similar messages of when they're in their feminine energy, it's almost like you're too much. And these judgments that come out at us, and in truth, anybody who is out there doing their own thing, if they are raising their vibe, we know, and it's something you have to really embrace, that the more you rattle the cage, the more haters you're going to have, the more people who are going to kind of push back, and the more judgments. But this isn't about making the judgments, it's about the judgments you actually have, and like looking at the judgments that you immediately do have, because those judgments tell us so much about you, and they tell us about ourselves when we are making judgments, because a judgment is only a reflection of how we're feeling inside. So if you are judging somebody's knowledge base, per se on like how their voice is, or how they're dressing, or how they're showing up, the truth is then you're probably really insecure at some level with your own knowledge base. You're probably at some level insecure, and maybe even propping your ego up with, oh, but I have this and I have that. And that's an ego move. That's a complete ego move. That is you propping yourself up to be better than somebody else. And especially, I think it's hilarious when people I'll get people who are like, they think I've not had any training or education or anything like that, and I'm like, actually, I have like 3 master's degrees, and I'm actually quite intelligent. I have a higher IQ than the average person on those stupid standardized tests, which means absolutely nothing in my opinion, because you can go into assessments and how they work and all the validity and reliability and all that, and usually it's BS. But my point is, a lot of times we don't know anything about somebody, but we make a snap judgment. We judge them. And when we notice ourselves constantly making these judgments, which we all make judgments, so let's not pretend like anybody is like higher up and like, I don't make any judgments. No, we all make judgments, but it is looking at the judgments we are making, and especially the ones we're consistently making, and going, okay, where is this reflecting a piece of me and my insecurities and where I potentially need to grow, or where I need to expand. The other thing is this idea, excuse me, hold on. Sorry, I don't mean to put my finger in y'all's. I don't remember. Okay, sorry. Somebody was trying to enter my live, which I'm a no to that. But the other aspect is this making comments to people, and I get this all the time, like people sending me like dick pics or calling me names. I love, and you can tell how sarcastic that is when I get called like sweetie, babe, honey. Like, I'm not your sweetie, I'm not your baby. You know, unless we have a relationship, you know, it's just not. Don't. But this almost diminishing of others with the words we use. And so it is, like, looking at the words we're using to relate to others in our life and going, okay, where is this my ego? Where is this me trying to diminish somebody? Or potentially even like at certain points prop somebody else up. But what I wanted to get at with that particular point was that I think we love to make these inappropriate comments online, and we think it's okay to kind of like go out there and like say things that we would never say if we were walking down the street. Most guys I know would not, like if you're walking down the street, are not going to just be like, hey babe, and pop out their junk. And if they are, they're going to probably get arrested. But they have zero issue sending a dick pic. They have zero issue. And then or calling you baby. Like most guys aren't going to be like, hey baby, on the street. Most men won't do that. And I know I'm picking on men here. Women, we do similar but different things when it comes to that. But these comments we make, like you wouldn't, as a woman, you're not going to walk up to another woman and be like, your fake boobs are just disgusting to me. Most women aren't going to do that, but they have zero issue doing that online. Like, that is, if you're feeling the freeness to say that online, then why aren't you willing to make those same comments in person? That is all your ego, and that is you taking your stuff out on somebody else. And it is you hiding behind the computer. And this goes so beyond this, because then so especially the last like 2 weeks, I have been really like commenting back at people, and then they're like, oh, I'm sorry. And what they'll do is they go into this almost pattern of making excuses, like guys will tell me like, I'm sorry, I was just horny, or you know, it was just the morning, or this or that, or women will be like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to think that would hurt your feelings. And I see this on other coaches' posts, other just people's posts. If you take this out of the coaching realm and like people who are teaching online, we see this all the time. And so we have this society that's trying to teach like, oh, love yourself, like we say and we verbalize, yes, you should love yourself. The people who love you want you to love yourself. And in truth, most of the time, we actually don't well, I don't want to say we, because I think that is actually almost too encompassing. I think there are a lot of people, and the majority of people, who actually do not want you to love yourself. They do not want you to step up. They do not want you to be high vibe. And a lot of times this is unconscious. This is totally, totally unconscious. And it is about noticing, like, I'm trying to pull that person's vibe down. I'm trying to hate on somebody that I don't even know. And we do this in our, I think, up until now I've talked a lot about this on the online forums, but the truth is we do this in our daily life. Like, we don't mind looking at somebody who is high vibing and has a really great idea and going, that idea is not going to work. That idea is not going to work. Or your head's up in the clouds. We say this a lot. Or, you probably shouldn't wear that. And I think there is this, like, we don't recognize it within ourselves when we are trying to really pull back somebody else's vibration. When we are trying, or not consciously, but when we are actually hating on somebody for loving themselves, like there'll be people who are like, oh, you take so many selfies. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do, because I love myself and I'm okay with myself. And so, vibration, and we try to pull them down, and we don't consciously do this. I don't think the average person is like, I just want to destroy the people in my life. Like, I think that's fun. I don't think the average person is consciously making that choice to really go and harm somebody else. I believe better for the people of this world. I don't think that we look to purposely hurt people, but it is really diving deep and finding some depth. Hopefully, I think we're back. Okay, so it is this kind of finding of depth and looking within and going, okay, where am I pulling away from other people's accomplishments, vibration, energy? Where am I really, really unconsciously stepping in and hating on other people and putting judgments on other people? We all get to kind of live our lives, unless you are out there, truly harming people. You have free reign to live the life you choose and to show up the way you choose. If somebody wants to wear makeup, great. If somebody chooses not to wear makeup, that's fine too. If somebody wants to be goofy and giggly and they're feminine, awesome. If somebody wants to be more in their masculine and really, really kind of attack life, like, that's their prerogative. And I think we step into our egos when we try to control other people's spirits and souls and how they're going to show up in their daily life. And it's not really our responsibility. And what I think, especially if you're finding yourself, like, saying things to people and then, like, backing off and going, like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that, I think you need to look at making constant excuses. I think there's those times, pretty butterfly, I think there are those times when, yeah, we might say something and that's, like, it's taken the way we don't mean it to be taken. But the fact is, if you are sending messages out and then giving some BS excuse, you need to look at yourself and go, okay, like, why do I think it's okay to send a dick pic? Why do I think it's okay to call this person this or that, or write some hate on their wall or in person? I think we get really wrapped up in the fact that in our society today we can kind of almost hide behind our computer screens, and we think that that's okay, when really it is our egos. It is completely our egos, and it is us allowing ourselves to separate step by step from our souls, because our souls are not hateful. Our souls want others to dance in their beautiful, light and be blessed and grow and expand, and we want the same thing for ourselves. And so if you are hateful and constantly making excuses for bad behavior, and I'm gonna call it bad behavior, then you really need to kind of look within and check where you might need to do your own healing work, where you might need to really step in. Or, guys, let's grow the F up and just stop it, because it's not appropriate. Like, you're an adult and saying, like, oh, well, I thought that was okay. Like, you're not a 15-year-old boy. You're not a 13-year-old girl. And so, if you're a 50-year-old man, I'm sorry, but you don't have a fucking excuse. You don't. You don't. So grow up and stop hiding behind your excuses, and instead step in and expand self. Allow self to grow and expand. And work with your ego. Work on those little moments. So yeah, that's really my message for today. I just see a lot of people hiding behind excuses and ego. And we all have ego. I don't want to make it sound like we don't have ego. I have ego, you have ego. Ego is just a part of the human condition. It is working with our egos and not letting them overtake us. But I think it is all, and then also looking at our judgments, because we all have them. But I think there are ones that are more kind of red flaggy judgments. Like we make judgments all day long. It is how we move through our day. It is our human conditioning to judge. Though when we are continually judging people, and also not even just judging, but diminishing someone's depth. Like the other day, somebody was on, and it was actually my coach friend Kendall's. She was talking about something really deep, and I was in it, and I was like, and then I see a comment pop up about her boobs. And I was like, really? Like, that is a diminishment of her depth in this moment. She is sharing, like, channeling from soul. And you just diminished her depth to her boobs. Like that, if you're doing that, and if you're noticing, even if you're not commenting on it, but it's just going through your head, you really need to look at, okay, where in this message am I getting uncomfortable? Because that is a beautiful lesson. That is beautiful depth. That is beautiful work for you to do. Like noticing, like, okay, well, this message was getting to a point where it was rattling my cage. It was making me nervous. It was making me tense. What was that about? Because then I went immediately to this over here to kind of diffuse some of the tension. So look at that. So other than that, I feel complete. How something on both my private wall and my coaching wall about men. If you are dating and you're really struggling to date, you're struggling to find that ideal woman, you're really not understanding why women aren't flocking to you, why women aren't, picking you out on dating profiles, why you can't find that woman that truly just sticks with you. That's on. Okay, there we go. I said to PM me or comment, and that was because I have an exciting new program. Do not have a link prep for it. It is coming out in the next 24 hours, so I'm giving everybody just a teaser taster of it. It is the Only Sexy Men Need Apply Men's Dating Mastermind. It is going to be all about how you, a single man, can kind of change your life around, not your life necessarily, but like profiles, how you can date in a better way, how you can be the man to attract in all these beautiful women that you really desire. And every man can be sexy. Every man can be swoon worthy. It is all about you bring in certain elements, and sometimes it's just little tweaks that need to be made that can make a huge difference in your dating chances. The truth is, this is not your grandma's dating game anymore. We are in a whole different kind of society and world right now with our dating. And so I'm doing this mastermind. It is a 4-week mastermind. You are going to get tons of content. You're going to get an hour and a half training every single week. And then you're going to get additional videos every single week, including implementation exercises, journaling work, and we are truly going to step you in to be a man that is calling in the ladies. We're going to talk about sex in there, how to be a single man and dating, and kind of how sex is a little bit different when you are in that dating pool and that first time sex, and really how to make it memorable. We're going to talk about your dating profile. We're going to talk about how you dress. we're going to talk about how you are presenting yourself. So join me. If you're interested in that, please PM me, comment on this video, and I will make sure to get you the exclusive details. There's gonna be early bird pricing on this. I'm keeping this pretty low cost, but again, 4 weeks. It is going to be amazing. I'm really excited. And again, that is the Only Sexy Men Need Apply. So again, PM me if you want that, and I will get that over to you. Other than that, in the April 18th in the DFW area, I am doing a Tantra 201 workshop in person. This is not online. This is in person with Kendall Williams. We're going to be doing our spring workshop, the Spring Awakening. It is always a beautiful workshop filled with lots of energy and connection and shares. It is PG-13 just for language. There's no nudity. This is a very clean workshop, but you are going to walk away with a way to connect better, both in the bedroom, out of the bedroom, and just have better energy overall. So check that out. You can find that on my coaching page, addisonbell.net, under the events page, or you can just scroll over my profile. So other than that, I will see you guys tomorrow for another Addison Unleashed. I'm sending you all lots of love, light, and tons of blessings. Bye, everybody.